Amid escalating tensions in the Middle East, NDTV World has reached a war zone in Beirut. We get you reports from the ground and the stories from the conflict zone. In the latest update, an Israeli airstrike on a mosque and a school sheltering displaced people has killed 26. The strike came as Israel escalates its bombardment in northern Gaza and southern Beirut. Claims, in fact, have been made that it targeted Hamas command and control center embedded among the civilians. Meanwhile, the IDF has announced a new air and ground offensive in al-Balah, a region densely populated with refugee camps dating back to 1948 war surrounding Israel's establishment. This comes a year after the war had started. The Israeli army has said it has reinforced security in southern Israel ahead of the anniversary of the October 7th attacks, which started the recent cycle of violence. A statement issued says that it is on heightened alert for threats in the region this week and is preparing for possible defense and offense operations. The IDF has also said that extra troops have been deployed to communities close to Gaza. People across Israel are preparing to mark one-year anniversary of October 7 attacks, the deadliest day in country's history. Many of the worst affected communities in the south are organizing their commemoration events. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali is on the ground in Beirut. Let's listen in to this report.
The situation in Lebanon's capital, Beirut, is tense. On my left, on this side, is the South Beirut. On this side of the road is the North Beirut. And right now, I'm here in Western Beirut. I'm reporting here from one of the schools behind me, if you see. This particular school, the boundary wall of which has got many people who are displaced from south and northern areas who have come here. This is a government school. And you can see inside there are many people who have been displaced and have been staying here with the assistance of local NGOs. I'm joined here I'm going to talk to one of the representatives of the NGO. His name is Mr. Hamza. Hi, Hamza.
Hi.
Can you just tell us in brief that what is the ground situation here?
The ground situation, the people right there are run away from the bomb attack on the south. So there's the only available school when they come, and they are about 360 people, about 86 families. They are here, and we are doing our best to get their needs until the war will be ended, inshallah.
Okay. And can you tell us that what are the areas which have come under the attack in Beirut in the last 48 hours or so?
The only area in Beirut that got attacked is about the Dahi, the Dahiya al-Janubiyya. So any other place?
Dahiya is in the north and Junub.
Yeah. Yes. No. It's the Janub Beirut.
Okay.
The north of the Beirut.
The north of the
South Beirut.
Okay.
So this the only area that getting attacked by Israeli planes.
Okay.
Any other city or place that are getting attacked, they are small damage.
Okay. How many people are staying here in this school?
About 360.
360, yeah. Including women and children.
Including everything overall.
And where and from which areas they have been displaced in Beirut?
Different places from the south, and there are people from the Dahi.
From Dahi.
Yeah.
So north is not under the attack. The north of the Beirut is also under attack, or no?
No. There are only there's one place in Beirut that getting attacked. It's Dahi.
And the south area.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There are reports that the border areas between Syria and Lebanon has also been attacked, the connecting area.
Yes, there's now no way to get to Syria. The only road that's been bombed also by Israelis. So people are trying to get to Syria, to Jordan, any place they can go run away from the bomb.
This is a government school?
Yes, this is a school for the government. Okay. It's Omar Farouk.
Omar Farouk.
Yes.
And what is the name of your NGO?
Badr Foundation.
Badr Foundation.
Yes.
So how many people Badr Foundation has been helping in the last 1 week or so since the attack has happened?
We are helping people since the first day of bomb.
Okay.
We are here on the ground since the first day, the first hour also.
Okay. And has there been any explosion, bombing in this particular area in the last 1 week?
There is one bomb closed to this school. It's the end of this road. Okay, so there's only one or two people are being attacked only. but this is the only bomb in close for us.
Let me bring in my colleague Mohammad Ghazali, who's joining us live at this moment from Beirut. Ghazali, now, this is one of the very tense war center at this moment. Just bring our viewers up to speed with what is happening in, Lebanon. And also, how do you see this going forward, this entire conflict, which has now escalated?
Ankit, I'll just refer to the neighboring country as occupied territory and not take the name of the country. So right now I'm in Beirut, and there is an eerie silence in the region. People are uncertain that which areas may come under attack or where the occupied territory or the owners of the occupied territory, the government in the occupied territory may start dropping bombs here. There are strongholds of Hezbollah in Beirut as well, which have come under intense attack. But largely, there has been civilian areas, densely populated areas, and residential apartments which have been flattened. And the government in the occupied territory across the border has been bombing areas in close to the Syria-Lebanon border, close to the Beirut airport, and even the civilian areas in the north and south Beirut both. Now, what is happening is that people who had migrated or left Syria during the civil war there, during the emergence of, while ISIS was emerging, they had all moved to Lebanon. Now, the same people have yet again become refugees and were trying to leave Lebanon and move towards Syria. But the government of the occupied territory bombed the entire route or the entire road which links Syria and Lebanon. That is one condition. The second is that many civilians who have been displaced have been accommodated in government schools, the international and local NGOs have been taking care of them. There are kids and women who have been killed in the last 1 week in different parts of Lebanon. The situation is very tense because on one side, the occupied territory government is bombing through aerial strikes, and on the other hand, it is also engaged with the Hezbollah fighters on the border in a ground combat. There have been heavy casualties on both sides. Now, coming to this fact that this entire Hamas war has been happening for the last 1 year, and the occupied territory government had perhaps claimed that it will eliminate both these groups, Hamas and Hezbollah, and that is why it has been waging this war. But perhaps if you see the events in the last 24 hours in the occupied territory, you have seen a stabbing attack which has killed one lady and has injured people. And yet,
can I also very quickly ask you, Mohammad Ghazali, all these reports of the successor of Nasrallah, who has also been eliminated by Israel, what has been, the reaction as far as Beirut is concerned, as Lebanon is concerned, and for Hezbollah? Now, the challenge is who takes over. The senior leadership at this moment is on the target as far as Israel is concerned.
See, Ankit, these organizations do run under the leadership, but they're not heavily dependent upon them, because even if you see after the killing of Nasrallah, the bombings have been going on. The rockets have been flying out from here towards the occupied territory. And even there are ground forces of Hezbollah which are engaged with Israel. So certainly a leaderless group is a concern for the group, but even then they have been managing to fight back against the forces of occupied territory near the border. Who will be succeeding it? Perhaps these consultations will take time, because even Iranian leadership is involved, and even everything is at stake for Iran, because this crisis, they can't abandon this territory, because for years they had installed a proxy team for them, which was operating not only in Lebanon but in Syria and Yemen as well. So this is a very crucial time for them to assert their influence and not allow their own allies to get upset with them. So the issue of who will take over the group is still relevant, but it has not impacted the entire situation.
Right, Mohammad Ghazali, thank you for joining us with all those details. Remember, NDTV is reporting from all the three major centers or the major points as far as this escalation is concerned. We have Mohammad Ghazali in Lebanon, who was reporting there, giving us a sense of what is happening there with Hezbollah and Israel now in a conflict, a deadly spiral of violence there, which is continuing. But on the other hand, in Israel, there has been attack in South Israel's Beersheba, stabbing and shooting incident which has been reported at the central bus station. Several people have been injured in this attack and one person has been killed. Now, this attack, in fact, took place today in south of Israel, And this happened at 3 different locations in south of Israel, where the attacker, according to the Israeli police, stabbed 1 person, and there have been 3 others, those who have been injured. Now, the Israeli police suspects that this is a terror attack. Investigations are on at this moment. The terrorist attack at the central bus station has 1 person, a young woman who has been killed, and 2 others who are critical. And then there have been some light injuries, non-life-threatening injuries as well. The eyewitnesses claim that the terrorist wore a bulletproof vest, and the terrorist was from the village of Hora. Criminal record has also been attributed to the person who is suspected to be in these attacks. Now, the terrorist has also been killed as far as the Israeli security establishment is concerned. Let me go across at this moment to Nick Collion, who's joining us at this moment. Nick, thank you for joining us. Just give our viewers a sense, because right now, apart from the war which is going on in the country, with Lebanon, and also the tensions with Iran, October 7th is going to be a critical day for Israel. And leading up to that, this attack would only increase the sense of anxiety as far as Israelis are concerned.
Yeah, that's right. Israelis are now ready to commemorate and to mark 1-year anniversary to this most cruel terror attack that Israel experienced, and maybe the world. And for Israelis, after the Holocaust, that was the most cruel, sad, tragic day in their history. About 1,200 people were killed. And here in the governmental office of Israel, they are doing a project of commemoration, of memory. They are speaking with tens of hostages and their families, and they are on video taking their testimonies, so the future generations will see what happened during the 7th of October, because we saw in the Jewish history that after Holocaust, some countries and people tried to deny the Holocaust. So this time, the Jewish state wants to make it clear what happened here and how many Israelis were killed by barbaric Hamas terrorists. And as you saw today, many terror attacks happening in Israel over decades, and not just terror attacks, also countries are launching wars against Israel from the north, from the south, from the east. All the neighbors of Israel, since the first day of the establishment of the country in 1948, they just can't agree with this Jewish little state in the middle of the Middle East, and they are trying constantly to destroy Israel. So we see there's a lot of anxiety now. There's a lot of stress, because now also Iran sending ballistic missiles towards Israel. And this sad reality is so stressful for many Israelis.